Yow, 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 Richie Rich, you deserve to be free. So, today was the day that I've been saying for the longest time that I've been going to Mexico. And I was leaving Vietnam and everything else. And this was the day that I was supposed to go. So, maybe from their previous videos that you've seen, I was kind of still hesitant. A little bit of anxiety over it. So I made the decision not to go. And yeah, there's some maybe there's a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Reservations about that, but nothing like it was before going to Mexico and staying here. I think what was going on with me was that I was listening to a lot of news. Still do. Maybe I listen to too much. Don't know. About alternative news, put it that way. Not mainstream. And obviously there's a bunch of stuff out there that's saying a lot of doom and gloom. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen or is going to happen. But that kind of really put me into a fear state, and I was making it out of fear, a fear decision going forward. So I'm not saying if you want to prepare for those things, that's fine, but I think you gotta come from a space of being authentic to yourself. And I'm not saying I'm not going to go to Mexico. That might be something I might do in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe not at all. I don't know. But right now, it just wasn't, just didn't feel right for me at this point in time. And I talked about a few other things regarding maybe doing residency. And I'm still going to be looking at that option. And I'm still even looking at that option if I can do it from Vietnam. I'm told you can. So I might look into that as well. So, that being said, I'm just going to hang tight here for a while, for the next few months for sure, if I decide to go. But the thing too is, I was just going to a place all by myself, didn't know anyone, new city. I'm not saying I was afraid of that, but a new language, didn't know the language, and I'm not saying I wasn't afraid of that. It's just that it was just something I got other things. I put it this way: I got other fish to fry right now, and I need to work on other things right now. And I don't really. And that's with in regards to maybe starting my business, working on my trading, maybe still trying to still establishing a relationship here, or with an Asian woman. I'm not saying. So I was going to a place where none of that, a lot of that would have been really turned back on the dial quite a bit, because all of a sudden you're in this whole new city, culture, everything, and now you gotta, basically you're immersed into this, now you gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with a language barrier, and then there's communication issue, even transportation. I know there's lots of Uber and buses over there. But for me right now, I'm here in Vietnam. I have my scooter. They call them motorbikes here. So it's pretty easy to mobile for me to go around here in this big congested city. Sure, there is buses, but if I want to quick go to my friend's place that's 15 minutes away, it's just hop on my scooter and away I go. Or I want to go to a cafe that I always like, or a restaurant, or meet someone else. So it was very convenient. I enjoyed that, but for me going over there, it was everything was going to be turned upside down, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. Okay, it's not. I'm not jumping ship out of fear. I'm afraid to go. It's not like I'm afraid to go. It's just that. I was letting go a lot of things that I enjoyed here, but I would have nothing there on the other end. Now, that being said, if I was going to go over there and then get get to a community, which there is some. I haven't looked into too much. I know there are some communities of expats and everything else. And as much as I like to be part of the expat community, I kind of don't. Even in Vietnam, I don't really. There's only one Western person I associate. One or maybe, I don't know if it's more than one or not. One Western person I associate with, and the rest is mostly by myself with Asian. Maybe going out dates sometimes, and that's about it. And I just don't want to be into Western. I'm not saying I won't do it in the future, but I still want to. I just kind of want to be immersed in the culture, so where you can learn the language a little easier. And because I know I've heard really good things about Mexico, contrary to what the mainstream media is portraying. Yes, there's bad areas in Mexico, no question about that. But it's where they are. It's like any country. You're going to find the bad areas in every city. Even the U.S. There's lots of dangerous areas dangerous cities in the U.S. Same with any other country, and especially if the economics go down more, it's going to get worse. So wasn't worried about that. Mexico had changed immigration, really clamping down on immigration. So when you get there, they're allowing 180 days. You're allowed 100 days, but and they were cracking down on people that were abusing the system. I don't know about abusing, but they would basically every 60 days, 180 days, they leave the country, come back, and they get another 180. Now they're clamping down on that. They're only issuing whatever they want. Some people are getting 10 days, some people are getting 30 days, and everything else. Now, me being new, I would probably get the 180. But, if all of a sudden I get there and you're stuck with, say, a 60 or 90 day, and I have a time frame of where I want to do in regards to maybe travel, setting up my residency and stuff like that, that could have been kind of pushed, and I didn't need that headache. And right now, my visa in Vietnam is still good for another 6 months. So I'm going to leave it go. Maybe I'll head out. Maybe if I do decide to go, maybe it'll be later, early next year, or not at all. See what happens with my visa here in Vietnam. But that being said, so anyway, everything just didn't. I just didn't feel right about leaving right away. That was I think that's the reason why I was under a little bit of anxiety, and a little more peaceful now that I made that decision. Kind of lost a little money, no question about that, because of the bookings I had with flights and accommodations. But other than that, I just feel okay with the decision right now. I feel good, and not regardless of my decision, whether it was good or bad. I'll know more about that in the future. But I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to feel bad about it. That's a big thing. If you change your mind, there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. You can have your goal sets and your decisions, and all of a sudden, last minute, you need to change your mind. There's a lot of circumstances come up where people change their mind last minute, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel bad about it. But make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I wasn't doing it because of fear. I wasn't afraid to go. I could go tomorrow if I had to. Not a question about that. It's just that it just didn't feel good for me to leave right now. I had too much going on back home here in Vietnam. So that being said, so anyway, don't feel guilty if you change your mind. Don't feel guilty. That's the takeaway today. Don't feel guilty if you make a decision and you do change your mind. But make sure when you change your mind that you think it's for the good. It's what you want at that time, and you're not doing it out of fear. Okay? Because you do it out of fear, it just not good at all. So you want to go into your decision making with an open mind. So anyway, I guess I got this book out. As you know from before, it's called Manifest What Loves You, and I'm going to be coming out with some more information shortly on other things for people. So to help people make proper courageous decisions. And from there, my email address is courageousrich@gmail.com. And we will talk to you later. Bye for now.